What do we have for Cancer? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the foundation of the reading, Cancer. Leading up to this reading, I was getting this message, and it was quite strong, that you're at a point in your life where you're actually looking back, just like the illustration shows us on this card, over some past karmic cycles. People, places, things, behavioral patterns that you deemed as not being in alignment with your highest good. And you're starting to see how much your life has changed for the better since you've left these things behind. I feel more than ever now, as we're starting out the new year, this is becoming very clear, very obvious, and quite possibly to other individuals that may have been connected to these situations as well. So an example of this would be you leaving family members behind that you felt may have been creating drag or holding you back on your path, and other individuals in your family not understanding why you took the actions that you did, but now they're starting to see very clearly, proof is in the pudding. It cannot be denied how much you have grown since you've decided to take this path alone, so to speak. You're actually at a point in your life where you can put together a plan for your future. I feel that you're leaving cycles behind where everything seemed like it was built on a faulty foundation. And again, for a lot of you, this is going to be family dynamics. You've just decided that you have an idea of how you want to live your life, and it's not in alignment with the way your family lives their life. They subscribe to a very old, outdated belief system and a worn-out idea of how individuals should be living their life. And I also feel the need to say that there's going to be some Cancers listening to this reading that are older, and you're at a point now where you're about to make the biggest changes you've ever made in your life. And I do mention this in my readings quite often, that age does not matter when it comes to awakening. And this is a form of awakening that I'm picking up here for you, Cancer. It's a ascension taking place in your life. It happens when it's meant to happen. But for all the Cancers out there in the collective that have been doing the work, you're about to elevate to the next timeline. And again, doesn't matter how young or old you are, it happens when it's supposed to happen for you. And usually, from what I have discovered, is that if you're an older Cancer, you just need to stay on this path that you were on a little longer than others to gain more wisdom. In other words, you're some of the divine's most powerful soldiers of awakening, and you were hand-selected by the divine because they knew you could handle the task. It's like having a lifetime of hurt and pain, nothing but failures and letdowns, hitting many dead ends, always feeling like the universe doesn't see you or you've been forgotten about, to all of a sudden everything just going your way and you having a deeper understanding of why you were put on that path. But your day is about to come, Cancer. This is what I'm picking up for all of you. What do we have the sacral, please? Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the sacral. Now, this goes along exactly with what I said about other individuals now starting to see the truth at this sacral position, which is all related to your passion, your optimism. That's you going it alone and quite possibly having to go through this journey with no support and people ridiculing you, speaking negatively on your name, something like this. You had to turn your back to these individuals to take this path. This is no easy task. But now the truth is unearthing itself. In Cancer, there's something about this path that you've decided to take that is triggering awakening in other individuals' lives. So maybe some of these family members that were just kind of onlookers to everything that was going on, and now seeing how your life is quickly improving, and it causes them to look at their own reality in a way that they never have before. This is a very influential energy, but it's taken a tremendous amount of strength and courage to be able to do this. This may have taken you quite some time to work up to this point, Cancer. And for those of you individuals that have yet to cross over this threshold that I'm picking up on, this is a little glimpse into what I feel is waiting for all of you on the other side, should you take the necessary steps and truly take control back over your life, step into your personal power. Some of these individuals, you don't even know this, Cancer, are your fans. They look up to you. If you do something online, but they're watching you, whatever it may be for you. Either way, they're keeping tabs on your elevation, your success. Now, there's many, many different things I'm picking up for all you Cancers out there. So just apply the messages as they fit to your current set of circumstances. But when I speak of success, it doesn't always have to be on a world stage. It most certainly can be. It could be success that you have in your community, but it's just success. And it's success that you haven't had before. It's you hitting the next level in the game. And I feel for a lot of you, finally. What do we have? The solar plexus, please. Empress, Libra, Taurus, Venusian energy at the solar plexus. Cancer, some of these individuals you haven't spoken to in a really long time. And there's this sort of rags to riches energy that I'm picking up for all of you. An example of this would be the last time they saw you, maybe you were broke or struggling or just having a really hard time with life. A few years passes, there's no communication. All of a sudden, you're building wealth. You're out of debt. You're accumulating materials. Your business is growing. Something similar to this is what I'm picking up here. This Empress is all about abundance. It's also the most beautiful card in the tarot. It's all the queens in one. But genders don't matter here, so this can be applied to the male Cancers out there as well. But this is really telling me that it shows as well, Cancer, the way you look. See, when you align with your higher self and you take that call from the divine, and you step into your allocated position or your intended path, you take hold of your mission statement, and you start working inside of that space, everything changes around you. Doesn't matter how old you are, all of a sudden you're just starting to age backwards. You look better. The Benjamin Button kind of energy. When divine light is running through an individual, everybody can see it. They may not know or understand what it is they see, but something's different. Something feels foreign to them. Because let's face it, Cancer, not a lot of people get on this path, answer the call. So there's a rarity to your energy, and you have this glow that originates from deep within your soul, and it's filling the spaces you walk into. I'm also getting a message here surrounding you taking note of individuals that come into your energetic environment, essentially your auric field. Do you feel sick? Do you feel happy? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel safe? Do you feel fear? You being a water sign and an incredibly sensitive sign, Cancer, I feel that now more than ever, you have this heightened sense of awareness when it comes to other individuals' emotions. You know, looking back at my life, Cancer, before I was somebody who awakened to all of this, there were very particular people that would come into my life and I would feel sick. Something was off. I didn't feel like myself. These kinds of people will have a way of bringing out the worst in you. Pay attention to all of this, Cancer. Those are extensions of the devil, and you need to make sure that you avoid spaces where any of these individuals may be loitering around. Where you're going to have way too much to lose, Cancer. And it usually comes in the form of enlightenment, the amount of work you've had to put in to yourself to get to this point. And it can easily be unraveled should you give audience to individuals that do not deserve to have any face time or be around you in any capacity. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow, Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. And this follows everything I just said. This is the energy that the divine wants you to take on, Cancer. Don't forget what some of these individuals put you through. And don't be so quick to allow them back into your energy. You need to practice discernment. Queen of Swords to me is a halt, who goes there kind of energy. She's also on the colder side, but it's necessary for self-preservation. And the fact that it's coming in at the heart, this is speaking on energies that you've had to let go of, people in karmic cycles, whatever it may be, that caused you to hold on to a lot of resentment and bitterness, which can be a sort of Queen of Swords in reverse kind of energy. But now you've brought this Queen of Swords into an upright positioning, which again is you being very perceptive, very straight talking, very self-sufficient, very protective of yourself and what you've had to build. This Queen of Swords is protecting this Empress here. This Empress can also be an energy that's pregnant with something. Now, some of you could actually be pregnant, but it's more pregnant with ideas. Some of you could have a new project that you're getting ready to birth into the collective. And this Queen of Swords is the energy that you need to hold to protect this. Don't offer up any sort of personal information about yourself at this point in time, Cancer. And you know what? I would say going into the future, get used to keeping things to yourself until there's something to show for it, because you just don't know what people's real intentions are for you until it's too late. What do we have at the throat, please? 10 of Wands at the throat. Sag energy. There is no more giving too much of yourself to relationships that don't give back or are lacking in reciprocity. This is done with now. You could see very clearly with this 10 of Wands at the throat. This was once you, carrying burdens that aren't yours. And these are the same energies next to this Queen of Swords that are trying to come back in and lay these burdens on your shoulders once again. I just heard these individuals are blown away that they can't get back into your energy, that you've put your foot down. It's shocking to them. Cancer, you're all dealing with individuals that are unwilling to take responsibility. They also find this path that you are now on to somehow be an injustice to them. These are very selfish individuals that you were dealing with, Cancer. You sacrificed yourself for far too long, but there's been a turning point in your outlook. In other words, you reached your breaking point. You had enough. You dropped the burdens and you set out on this path like a lone soldier. And it served you well, Cancer. You knew there was a better way. You heard the divine calling you from within. You ignored it for a while, and then finally you answered. A lot of you are looking back at your life, or you're going to, depending on where you are on this timeline. You're shocked. It's almost like everything leading up till now is almost like a bad dream. It's almost as if it feels much further away than it is, right? So what I mean by this is you look back over these difficult times in your life, and maybe it was a year, 2 years, 6 months. Could be different for all of you, but it feels like another lifetime. That's when you know you've timeline jumped, Cancer. I can confirm this to be true. Even now, to this very day, when I think back on my life before I reached my breaking point and answered that call from the divine, it seems like another life. It seems like a bad dream. It seems like, when I think about it now, it feels like a glimpse into a life that I could have had I not taken the necessary steps to empower to get to where I am now. And it's quite profound, but I think you probably understand what I'm trying to put down here, Cancer. What do we have at the third eye, please? Perfect card to follow what I just said. 9 of Swords right there at the third eye. You guys could actually be dreaming about what I just said. Maybe these dreams are taking you back to that time of struggle. It's like you're dreaming about it and you feel like you're back there. And then you wake up and it's like, oh my God, thank you. It was all just a nightmare. Some of you are probably dealing with some form of PTSD, depending on how extreme the cycles you've had to overcome are. A really good way to try and overcome some of that, Cancer, is to implement very healthy new activities into your routine. You want to sweat that energy out. You want to dig all of that stuck energy, so to speak, out of your muscle fibers, right? It just all builds up like tension. I just heard some of you might even need to go get a massage or something. Sit in a sauna, which is interesting because whenever I get this card, I think of waking up in the middle of the night with hot bed, right? You guys know when you have nightmares and your sheets are all hot? The message I'm getting there is you need to sweat something out. You were in those cycles for so long that the healing is going to take some time. But I tell you what, there's always an appreciation for how far you've come when you have flashbacks to where you once were. This is all happening in divine order. You're supposed to go through this process to, again, recognize how hard you fought, how far you've come. What do we have at the crown, please? Knight of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the crown. These cards are following everything I'm saying. Knight of Swords is all about lifestyle changes. There's change taking place inside the Cancer collective. And again, it doesn't really matter what part of this timeline you're on. Each one of you will reach each one of these benchmarks when you're supposed to. But this is telling me, with its position right there at the crown, that the divine is working on you around the clock, upgrading you, preparing you for the new timeline, slowly working all of this tension out of you, spiritually speaking, that you accumulated from this previous cycle. You know, a lot of this has to do with traumatic memories and you thinking back to different situations, karmic cycles that you were in. There has to be a sense of evaluation and memory recall. It's usually during these times of that memory recall that you start to see things in a way that you didn't see before, and it allows you to heal a little further each time. See, if the divine just came through and healed you overnight, Cancer, just took it all away, you'd probably go into a state of shock, because to take it all away from you, it's like you have to have recall of all these old memories and karmic cycles and have a deeper understanding so you can gather the wisdom to push forward on your path. This is not something that takes place overnight, okay? Yes, you can have your new beginning, but those memories, the hurt and the pain and all this stuff that came along with having to run those karmic cycles is something that you actually need on your path moving forward. It's within all those memories that a lot of you have creative ideas start sparking. Some of you write books, some of you write songs, really anything. There's so many different things. But what this is now called is transmuting the negative into positive, and that's what this is all about. This is why we're even here. You are a transmuter, and we've come here to take all the negative energy that we've accumulated on our paths and turn it into light, turn it into empowerment, into something positive to help guide other individuals out of the darkness. What do we have at the foundation, please? Wow, 3 of Cups. Cancer energy, Gusion at the foundation of the reading. The 3 of Cups from this deck is read as a negative polarity, which I feel is representing the kinds of people you've left behind, people that stifled your creativity. These are very untrustworthy people who seem to bring a lot of misfortune into your life by you merely being in their presence. Some of you are starting to realize that when you're around certain people, they have a lot of good luck in their life, but you have a lot of bad luck. Almost all of you have experienced this. This is such a clear example of what I'm picking up here. And then you're left thinking that you are doing something wrong. Why don't I get any good luck? Everybody around me has good luck, and these are, for the most part, terrible people. But here I am trying to do the best I can to be a good person and get into my purpose, and I have nothing but bad luck all around me. The path of the chosen one. That's what that is. And that just says it all, Cancer. You watch. You remove yourself from the environments of those individuals, and all that good luck they had, poof, gone. And then all of a sudden, things start progressively getting better for you. You are now surrounded by good luck, stealing your light and replacing it with their darkness. Just because you're somebody of the light does not mean that you can turn somebody else who's of the dark to the light. This is not how this works. The only way you can possibly succeed at doing this is leading by example. That's it. Think about all the work you had to put in yourself to get to where you are. Now think about all those other people trying to do that same work. You almost couldn't even imagine it, right? Exactly. So if you walk into a room where there's, say, 5 people who are of the dark, who aren't enlightened like you, they're going to drag you down to their vibration. Because think about all the work that they have to do, all 5 of them, to get to where you are. That seems like an impossible feat, because it is, Cancer. Each one of those individuals has to go through mass awakening, connect with their higher selves, start nurturing a relationship with the divine source and God. So there's no possible way that these people will awaken just because you walk in the room. That's why it's incredibly important that you protect yourself and your energy. You are not here to exorcise demons from people. You are here to get on your path and create an influence and irritate the demons inside of those individuals. So hopefully they somehow find their way to enlightenment themselves. These individuals will drag you down to the darkness, put you right back where you came from, and unravel all of the hard work you've put in up until this point. Wow. What a card to follow what I just said. All these cards are reiterating what I'm saying. 7 of Wands, Glacea Labalis, causes murder and bloodshed. Can make one invisible. 7 of Wands, this is an energy that wants you to feel overwhelmed and discouraged about the path that you are on, wants all of your plans to stall out, wants you to think that you have some sort of disadvantage over them and that you'll never pull off what you've set out to achieve in your life. It's an energy that wants you to give up, Cancer. Do not allow these individuals back into your energetic space. Otherwise, you will regret it, and you'll regret it when it's too late. This 7 of Wands also speaks about a group of people that are trying to knock you down from off your throne or stop you from getting there. Depends where you are on the path. All these people are in competition with you. They're narcissistic individuals that act like they support you, but in fact, this is a tactic that they use to keep you under their thumb and one step below them. This sort of tactic is used to make you feel like they support you. But as soon as you step one level above them, oh, this is when we have problems. They come for you. We have Page of Swords stacked with 7 of Wands at the sacral. Next to this 3 of Cups, there's a lot of people inside your energy, Cancer. We got 10 birds on that Page of Swords up in the sky, 7 of Wands representing 7 people, 3 of Cups. This also represents a lot of gossip, a group of people talking about you behind your back. I feel that one or more of these people are very loud. They're the kind of person that when they come into a room, they have to be the loudest to try and get the attention of the room. See, but the real way to get the attention of the room is to be the quietest. See, when people are forced to lean in to listen to what you're saying, you have their full, undivided attention. They shut out all the outside noise so they can hear you. That's how you take control over a room. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? 9 of Pentacles, Virgo energy, Amdusius, and the solar plexus. There's a lot of envy here. There's a lot of gossip. Feels like you have a whole community of people, or friends group, or family, whatever it is, just a group of people that came up against you. And again, sadly, this is the path of the chosen one, the black sheep. It's all a part of it. It's like you have to go through this initiation of being gang stalked so you know how to handle it because of where you're going. You've come across all these people who do nothing but take advantage of you and make you feel like you owe them something. They're highlighting finances here as well. So this may have been an issue in one area or another. Just a lot of setbacks and distractions, so you weren't able to focus on what truly matters and step on your path. And whenever I get this card, see, it's like this disgraced unicorn, right? But they're sitting on a pile of trumpets. It's like these are all the tactics they used to come up against you, right? And now they're looking kind of ashamed, like, I didn't know Cancer was the chosen one, you know. I was just messing around. How come Cancer gets to go there and I don't? This kind of energy, it's just envy. What do we have at the heart? Bereth, catastrophe, and haste, which is the King of Pentacles. So I'm picking up on this very domineering and controlling energy, Cancer. I feel that as you're looking back over some of the things you've overcome, you're starting to see how a lot of it was right in your face and you didn't even notice it because you didn't think to, which is telling me that it was people very close to you. You never suspected that they would have utilized these kind of tactics to hold you back. You're starting to see that there was a lot of things done in the shadows, so a lot of things are now starting to come to light, which is why this memory recall is so important, and it gives us a further understanding of why it takes time to heal from all that. Psychological abuse. For some of you, it could have been more than that, but just for the sake of the reading, we'll call it overcoming deep forms of psychological abuse, narcissistic projection that created a lot of deeply embedded trauma. I think that you reach a point where you're at peace, but this memory recall, this lasts a lifetime. All of a sudden, you're in your 80s or 90s or something, and you have a different perspective over a memory, something you've overcome, and you're looking at it differently. You're like, oh my God, son of a gun, I didn't see it like that before. It was right there in front of my face. It's as if you get little breadcrumbs of healing as you make your way down your path. But each breadcrumb of healing is in accordance with where you are at that point in your life, and it has a way of serving you, right? So say you have a deeper understanding of something you've overcome and it sparks some sort of creative idea. You know, some of you could be, again, writers or speakers or have support groups, whatever it is, it's all experience. But as time goes on, what I can say is, having overcome quite a lot of trauma in my own life, it's actually quite beautiful the way the divine works with you in regards to all of this. It makes all of it mean something on your path, Cancer. You understand that it wasn't all for nothing, because now you can take all that negative and turn it around into something positive. And that is what a real magician is. Then we have 6 of Wands, Shahia, Leo energy, long longevity. So this is actually speaking about what I just said, Cancer. It's like you turn this darkness into light and it gives you victory after victory. There's also a lot of praise and recognition that you're going to have for these personal triumphs and the successes that seem to be never ending coming your way because of what you've had to overcome. I can't tell you how empowering it is to be able to have even the smallest success over something that brought a lot of darkness into your life. It's during those successes that you start to realize that you actually had to go through that time of darkness because you had to gather some sort of wisdom, that you're a real warrior. The divine sent you in because you were the right one for the job, because what you come out with on the other side is so incredibly valuable to evolution and the collective at large, and everything just has a way of making sense. What do we have at the throat? Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the throat. Vihuel, the great and exalted God. Grandeur makes one passionate toward God. So it's also during these times of healing and memory recall that your connection with Source, the divine God, becomes stronger and stronger. You start to feel seen. You start to feel nothing but purpose and meaning to your life. And you start to recognize yourself as somebody that plays a part in this life cycle. In other words, Cancer, you start to have a better idea of who you are and what you came here to do. Another beautiful feeling to have, especially when you come from karmic cycles that make you feel like you're nothing and there's no real purpose for you even being here. The opposite is the truth. If you're made to feel that your life is meaningless and that the universe doesn't see you, it's because the opposite is true, period. People will put a whole lot of effort in trying to keep you down, and you never really stop to think why they put so much effort into it. Think about that. Because something told them to do it. They're extensions of the devil. They work for the underworld. And you, being somebody that was handpicked by the divine to come here and do exactly what we said in this reading, is somebody that is highly threatening to them. And it's mind-blowing when you wake up to this and you get on your path and you look back, you're like, oh my God, I was sent here by the divine. I was meant to think that I was just some nobody, that God doesn't even exist. But now as I go further down my path, I look back and I see that all those people were literal demons in my life. This is when you have these shifts in your reality, everything changes. You see that there's energy all around us, that there are most certainly devils that walk this earth, and most of them have been assigned to you. They show up in your families, people you date, your friends. But as long as you're on path, Cancer, there's not much you need to worry about. All they can do is try and distract you. And yes, the distractions can be very, very powerful and very strong, especially given the fact that we live inside this matrix and we're bombarded on a daily basis with distractions from every single angle. But you get better at dealing with it. You don't have to be perfect. None of us are. All you're expected to do is your absolute best, Cancer, and that's it. And God forbid, do not give up on yourself ever. And don't let anybody tell you who you are and who you are not. You're moving very quickly towards this new timeline, Cancer, because you're taking on this mindset, because you're having a deeper understanding of what's going down here. What do we have at the third eye, please? Wheel of Fortune at the third eye, heading towards your destiny. Metatron, the recording angel. Advancement and progress. Teaches, guides, and records events in the book of life. This was all meant to happen, Cancer, just like this. But they were trying to rewrite your Akashic records. They wanted to erase the part where you don't wake up to the truth of who you are. There's a huge turning point here for you, Cancer. But this is all because you've been holding the vision. There's a lot of good luck and karma on your side. And there's this whole new life cycle opening up for you. This is the energy of awakening. And it's also making me think about what I said, you waking up from these dreams, right? And it's like the recording angel is working with you, helping you overcome all this, helping you squeeze all this wisdom out of these memories, which you create things from, Wheel of Fortune energy. We're going to show you how to transmute all this darkness into an absolute fortune for yourself, because we need to make an example out of you and how it's done. And then we're going to prepare a table for you in front of your enemies so we can show them how really powerful you are And even though you may not care about that Cancer, it's the way it needs to be. So they can feel the impact of their treatment towards you. Because when these individuals start to see what the divine always had planned for you, they're going to beg for mercy, right? It's like trying to keep somebody off their path. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how many people they're going to help. But then you come along, and just because you're envious or you think it's unjust that they're stepping into success, you're going to try and do everything you can to stop them. Go ahead. See how that works out for you. What do we have at the Crown to close there for Cancer, please? 5 of Cups, Scorpio energy at the Crown to close out the reading. Viuela, God, King, and Ruler, prosperity, destruction of the enemy, and deliverance from bondage. This is an energy of moving on. A lot of hope returning into your life, Cancer. And this is also you accepting everything for what it is, forgiving the past and the parts of yourself that weren't awakened enough to see these individuals and past karmic cycles for what they truly were in your life. And this is you stepping into a whole new beginning. There's a lot of success on this table. There's nothing but purpose and power, enlightenment, and a clear indication of you fulfilling your destiny in this life cycle. I certainly hope that you were able to gather some wisdom from this reading to assist you on your path. Cancer, this is the message I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Cancer. Take care.